right, we'll start with questions from Zoom. If anybody has any, we could always go back. Okay, nothing from Zoom. We'll start with questions in the room. Tyler.
Hey, Dom, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. We just heard from Abdul, and he talked a little bit about his development here as a junior and as a defensive end. I know you had high hopes for him. Did you think he would put himself in this category of maybe being the best defensive player in college football in his first year at this new position, or has he kind of exceeded expectations even internally with Penn State?
I mean, I'm not surprised at all for how well he's doing this season. I mean, he's just a freak athlete, and I noticed it right away as soon as he stepped foot on campus. I mean, just the way he goes about his day-to-day self and day-to-day routine, it's incredible. I mean, just learning from him too at this point now. I mean, it's awesome.
In the back middle, Shane.
Hey, Dom, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. Heard Drew talk about it, in his statement yesterday about coming back. Abdul just talked about saying how much fun they've had this year playing football, saying it's the most fun they've ever had. As another guy on the team, how has this season been like for you? Obviously, you've had to overcome some things as well.
Yeah, I know I had to fight through some adversity, but, I mean, just keeping my head straight, keeping my head where 1-0 each week. I mean, just focusing on getting myself better and making sure I can still help the team in that way. And any way I could do that and help the team at the same time is huge for me.
Got a question from Tyler over here. Bringing a mic to him.
Let's see if I can redeem myself here. You play alongside Kobe. How has he kind of grown as a leader alongside yourself on this linebacker group, and how is he kind of taking command of a leadership role?
I mean, he's becoming a lot more vocal. I mean, just the way he's communicating pre-snap and post-snap, telling us what he sees when he comes off the field. I mean, we talk about that a lot every time he comes off the field. Kobe, Tony, and I, we all talk about what we're seeing, what little keys we're noticing pre-snap, and it's really helping us all play at a high level.
In the middle here, John.
Hey, Dom, what issues do you think someone like Kevin Jennings can give you guys as a defense, and how do you prepare for a quarterback that might be on another level compared to guys you face this year?
I mean, he's a heck of an athlete. I mean, he can make plays with his legs, he can make plays with his arms, and I mean, third downs are really where you got to make sure he stays in the pocket. I mean, he's a athletic freak. I mean, we just got to be able to be in our gap sound, and be able to play our game.
Seth, right here in the front.
Dom. In an era that seems so hyper-fixated on NIL and the transfer portal and soon enough scholarship cuts, what do you think it means that a former walk-on is going to be a starting linebacker on a college football playoff team?
I mean, we've always dreamed of it as coming from a walk-on. I mean, you always dream of that, getting that scholarship moment. It's just like the weight that comes off your shoulders, and I mean, it's just undescribable how appreciative we feel when we have that moment. I mean, and now I guess that's probably going to go away. I guess you're not going to see that as much anymore. But, I mean, it was an unreal feeling having that happen to me, and I'm just upset that it's not going to happen to others.
Over here on the right, Tyler.
Dom, I know 2025 is the last thing you want to talk about, but Drew kind of brought it to the forefront yesterday with his announcement. So with the team captain, with the team's quarterback announcing he's on board for another go-round in 2025, what does that do within the locker room? What does it do peer-to-peer, maybe among the staff, knowing that that's a pretty important piece that's already in place?
I mean, I think it's huge having Drew come back. I mean, he's a great captain, great leader, and a huge leader for the offense. I mean, just having him come back, having that experience in the quarterback room as well, I mean, helping the younger kids out and just making sure everyone's on their P's and Q's, and I think he's going to be a huge part of the team next year.
We'll go over here on the left, Joel, and then Shane.
Dom, thanks for doing this. Obviously, you were close with Bo, who recently entered the transfer portal. What is kind of your confidence level and your expectations for him at his next stop and the success that he'll have?
I mean, I'm happy for him. I mean, he's a great guy, heck of a player, and sad to see him go, but I'm excited for him to do his thing and be a great quarterback in the future.
In the middle, Shane.
Hey, Dom, with mentioning Jennings and his mobility and ability to extend plays, you've seen other quarterbacks have like quick releases, things like that. When you look at those two different types of quarterbacks, what are some tactical things that you guys look at to prepare to kind of deal with, what they do as far as those two things?
I mean, it all depends on the type of quarterback you're going to see. I mean, Jennings has a quick release and has a great threat with his legs, so you have to be able to be set gap sound like that, and also be able to break on the ball quickly and be able to be in the right position at the right time and know their route combinations and what you get from each formation.
In the back left here, Joe.
Dom, last year you had an extra 2 weeks to prepare for Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl, and now you're preparing for a playoff game and it's finals week and classes are ending. Is it any more difficult to kind of handle the football side of things, the academic side of things at the same time?
Excuse me. I don't know if I'm just speaking for myself here, but I feel like having less time to prepare is actually better for me because I feel like if you have more time, you have more time to daydream and not really focus in. So that's how I feel. But I mean, having less time for me, I mean, it always makes me work harder. Being able to cut down on school a little bit. I mean, I only have 2 finals, so it's going to be quite easy for me. But I mean, I know all the freshmen are struggling with that right now. So I mean, just trying to keep their heads on for that.
Got a question here from John.
Dom, from a personal standpoint, what is it like not having Bo here this week after, a friend of yours, he's there all season, and now in the biggest moments, he's not able to be here?
I mean, it was a tough decision for him, obviously, but I'm just happy for him. He's going to do great things in the future, and I just can't wait to see where he is.
Any more questions for Dom? All right. Thanks, Dom.